Welcome along to Sport Like It Is, our third installment. I am Mr. Milk Bottle. I'm sure I'm looking very pale up against this nice backdrop behind us, Ben.
And I'm looking radiant and red. Yes, very good, Ed. Very good, yeah.
Radiant indeed.
Very excited for the weekend. We've got Super 15 final.
Finally we got you.
After what? It must have been 6 months of rugby. I mean, it's like half a year of rugby, and we finally get to the two best teams for the new trophy.
We generally don't complain when there's 6 months of good rugby in this country, do we?
Yeah, but the whole thing about this year, I mean, not to jump the gun too much on what we think about Super 15 as a total. Too many derbies, the finals come and we're so excited for it, but we have to go through so much in order to get to it. But still, two best teams are with it, Crusaders and Reds. What are your thoughts?
Very good indeed. I must admit, the Crusaders last weekend, as we said on Monday, were incredible, brilliant. This weekend, different prospects, same, going to have to be a very robust defensive display, as Todd Blackadder said yesterday in his presser. Thoughts there?
Well, the Crusaders are a good defensive side. If you look at the points scored and points against, Crusaders scored the most points. I think that's 436, but they only let in about 270. Top of the head stuff here, I don't really know. Reds, on the other hand, scored I think 20 points less, but let in about another 50. So both teams score a lot and the defense is good. Crusaders are just slightly better on both stats. But now it comes to the final, you can't really draw much into that. You got to go both teams at full strength. That's a good one. And the Crusaders obviously have won it a few times. The Reds are quite green when it comes to being finalists. But I mean, is that going to make a difference though?
10 finals in 14 years for the Crusaders.
Oh wow.
Cool stat, eh?
Yeah, you're a lot better than the stats than I am.
No, yours are fine. To look at it, Will Genia and Quade Cooper, we have to touch on that because that axis, as you called it, quite rightly on the bounce today, has been pivotal the whole year. But are they too reliant?
Well,
on that,
I always thought they were too reliant. You look at the way they started the season. They narrowly beat the Force, then they got absolutely hammered by the Waratahs. So you think, okay, they showed great signs in 2010, and then the wheels came off because Cooper and Genia obviously weren't gelled enough. So you're thinking, okay, if the team is built around it and they start this bad.
Excuse that, by the way.
Oh, sorry, big bus. That was actually a car train bus. There was 2 people on this time. That's a record. So sorry, get back to your point. Are they too reliant on it? At the beginning you thought so. That team got stronger and stronger, and all the other players feed off that axis, and now they've actually galvanized a pretty good unit together. I mean, the Reds are very balanced. Everyone goes on about the Crusaders being so balanced and so well-rounded. You can't fault the Reds in any sort of facet. Whether it be tight 5, whether it be right at the back, they've got some new guys, like 18, 19. You wouldn't think he's a first-timer. The guy's a seasoned veteran, because Genia creates it, and then Cooper gets all the flash and all the flair, and everybody plays up to that, I think.
One thing that the Reds have combined this year is attrition and exhibition. Quite cool, eh?
Yeah, great phrase.
Very nice. Will Genia doing a lot of work around the fringes, lots of ball carriers. You look at Fayenga, you look at Daly, you look at James Hallwell,
so well.
Taking the ball forward, crashing into the opposition, and then Genia around the fringes is so crafty, and he's providing such great ball to Quade Cooper that every time he receives it, he's running onto the ball. And he made 206 metres gained against the Blues. Compare that with Dan Carter, who was far more defensive-minded in the game against the Stormers. He had to be because he didn't have as much ball in hand. Will it be different this weekend?
Well, if you look, just touch on Genia again, he's almost like a modern-day George Gregan, but like for all the right sort of attributes. Now, when you've got a guy controlling so much in the pivot position of scrum half, your fly-half is just, he's got like room to really express himself and work around that. Dan Carter, he lost his Andy Ellis straight away. Sellier came on.
He's back this weekend, by the way. Andy Ellis is back.
Oh, really? Okay, so he passed the fitness test. Yeah. Okay, great. So, Genia's doing that for Cooper all the time. That's why he is so good. That's why he can make the yards.
Interesting. As I've said 400 times in the last 2 posts.
But it's a very interesting game we have ahead, right?
It really is.
So, cut to the chase. We both know they're very good side. They've got great players. They're both at full strength. What's it going to be? Crusaders or Reds?
I'm going Crusaders this weekend. I think the Crusaders have a lot to play for, as the Reds do, because everybody forgets that Brisbane had a flood, and an almighty flood, before the season started. Christchurch, of course, with the earthquake. But for me, the Crusaders are so together, so in tune. Everybody knows each other's games. We've talked about Sonny Bill Williams' offloads, but everybody around him knows exactly what he's going to do. Whether these offloads are from a textbook or from Peter de Villiers' worst nightmare, it doesn't matter, because quite frankly, the guys around him know exactly the way he's going to play. So for me, for a side in tune like the Crusaders, they are going to go to Suncorp Stadium and silence that man behind the mic who keeps saying we are Reds.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Deccan Chargers. Hardly the most innovative sort of theme tunes. But you make a great point about the Crusaders are so unified. If you look at Carter, got injured this year. Sonny Bill out for 2 weeks. McCall was out for, I think, in the beginning and at the end. Everyone that came into the system stepped up. They all knew their place. So it's a great sort of unity. But at the same time, I'm actually going to go with the Reds. I think they've got something about them. There's the flair they play with, they've got so much passion. You know, it's a team on the up. Crusaders have everything's been against them this year. But still, I mean, they're obviously good enough for that. I just think the Reds, yeah, I'm going to go with the Reds.
A lot of people saying 2 characters, one on either side, Carter, Cooper, 2 individuals, certainly not bereft of any confidence. Different styles though.
Very different, yeah.
Do you think that Quade Cooper's mercurial aspect will work for him or against him this weekend?
Yeah, it can go one of the two. I mean, look at his kicking with all spirit fingers and that Superman stance. He'll either get 2 out of 7 or he'll get 7 out of 7 and he won't even give you a sniff.
So you reckon this weekend that the side that kicks the best, or rather the player that kicks the best, is likely to be on the winning side?
And it will be Cooper.
It will be Cooper.
Yeah, I'm making that call right here, right now.
What do you think? I'm going Carter, Ben's going Cooper. Moving along very swiftly, somebody from the Crusaders who had a bit of an interesting week last week, Luke Romano. Tell us why, Ben.
Oh, Luke Romano, yeah, he had to fly out late because he got chicken pox. I mean, okay, I always thought chicken pox is when you were a child, but apparently, well, obviously he got it in Claremont.
Tiger, by the sound.
I haven't been a tiger in ages, but I mean, the last time I was there, I didn't get chicken pox.
Well, heaven behold, tin roof, eh?
No, I think it's something a lot stronger than chicken pox in that place.
Just to wrap up, do you think so? Something that you can't get rid of?
Yeah.
That will come home with you anyway.
You only get the good ones once.
Enough, please. We're talking about experience again. Ben is clearly experienced. To finish up, the Springboks, and I've written down the number of players that are injured at the moment. Injured.
Oh, yeah,
We're not quite sure what's going on there, but the reports say Heinrich Brousseau, rib, Dwayne Vermeulen, obviously with his knee, Farida Prayer with the same problem, Scout Berger with his thumb, all the way down to Francois Lowe with a clavicle problem. By the way, that's a
Collarbone.
Well done.
Yeah.
Learning fast. So he's got a clavicle problem. Gertrude Steenkamp, forearm. Brian Habana with a shoulder problem. Bakkies Boertse. The funniest one was Victor Matfield, who's got a calf and a neck problem. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Some outrageous dance move. Maybe he was with Luke Romano.
Wow.
Busting moves in
so
Claremont.
hang on a second. So what's the number on that? How many guys are injured?
I'm not quite sure, but it looks like out of the 49 players in the squad, 24 or so are injured, or 20 at least are injured.
It's going to be like that 2007 Tri-Nations again. You know when they went to the World Cup, Johan Miller was the captain. It's going to be a bits and pieces thing. Oh, who cares?
We'd like to hear your thoughts. We've had some great response on Twitter. Hashtag SLII is what you're looking for. At Sellier and
at Follow the Bounce. Please give us your views. We'll chat about your stuff in due course. But yeah, get in touch.
Thanks for the questions, guys. We will see you soon. Cheers.
Cheers.